Meet the new old addition to Broken Arrow Bison Ranch. There are a few really good reasons why we purchased this truck. But first, let's go get this thing cleaned up, and then we'll talk about why we purchased this, the drawbacks and the benefits. This old thing drives better than my Excursion does. Inevitably, the ranch really needs a truck, but first, let me take you back about 30 years ago. So when I was a kid, I grew up going up to my grandfather's farm, which was about 220 acres of just rolling pasture. Beautiful place up in North Missouri, and it had some really fond memories. Going up there late on a Friday night, driving from the big city where I grew up, and getting up early Saturday morning and fishing with the cousins, getting out onto the four-wheeler that Saturday, begging an aunt or uncle to drive us around, and that was just heaven to me growing up. It really planted the seed of where we're at now. Well, when I was a kid, my grandfather had a red 1980s Ford pickup truck. Something like this. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was a two-door, and I don't even think it was four-wheel drive. This is an extended cab, and this is a four-wheel drive. But this really kind of takes me back to my childhood as a kid, up on the farm, and just when life was just perfect. No, this isn't a new truck, but the decision not to have monthly payments on a vehicle, and also just to get something we needed right now. There are newer trucks that we could have purchased that could have had more power and more reliability. Sure, it has some rust. It's only a 3-speed. But for what we need on the ranch right now, this truck is perfect. None of those newer trucks that I looked at really had the heart and the soul that this old pickup truck does. This is a 1981 Ford F-250 Explorer extended cab. I actually used to have a truck very similar to this on our old ranch when we first started raising buffalo. The difference was it was gray and it was a diesel. The other one I had was also a manual. This is an automatic. So between my grandfather's old truck that he had on his old farm and the truck that I had on my old ranch, this is very familiar to me. We got it all cleaned up, but it's not gonna stay clean for long. I think it's about time to break it into its new home. a lot easier than getting the tractor going, hooking up the trailer, and then taking it down there. Just hopping in the truck, going down there and loading up wood. So that is going to be nice for the future. It thawed out a little bit today, but it's just the top surface. Everything underneath it is just frozen solid, so I can't get any traction. We're gonna try to lift up on this with the farm jack in order to get that hay bale unstuck so the tractor will move forward. I knew I bought that truck for a reason. Let's go get it. Well, I thought that the reservoir was out of fluid, and it was, but this actually contains hydraulic fluid, and this is what powers this lift down here. It pushes this piston up and down. Didn't want to get unstuck because it didn't want to let those forks down because I thought it was out of hydraulic fluid. Turns out it looks like we blew something inside this pump. This is not working at all, so we're going to have to address this pretty soon. The Bison still have hay left here, but that's only going to last them a couple days. So we're gonna have to be able to get that pump rebuilt very shortly or figure out a different way to pick these up. Otherwise, they won't have any hay. It's all part of life on the ranch though, I suppose. There's always something you gotta deal with, some sort of problem, some sort of issue with dealing with taking care of these guys, but I don't mind as long as we can get it fixed in time to get these guys fed. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys next time.